America's Dumbest League keeps being dumb. What they went from was from zero to Caitlin Clark, but they are using proper WNBA mentality. There is crying in the WNBA. It's going to get spicy. These ladies want a greater profit. Pay back the people that have been losing money all these years on your sorry asses. I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I want it to work out, but America's Dumbest League keeps being dumb. You know, they want to go, and I don't blame them, I suppose, the WNBA, from 0 to 1,000. But what they went from was from 0 to Caitlin Clark, and they don't understand it. I'm going to get into Carolyn Peck in a minute. The Dumbest League strikes again. Several high-profile WNBA players have begun to openly call out the league's office and commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, as they should, but it shouldn't be them. It should be Caitlin Clark calling it out, to voice their displeasure with the league's initial CBA offer, calling it a slap in the face. Yeah, our collective bargaining operation is a slap in the face and the polar opposite of player union requests. Wait a second. The polar opposite, that means if you ask for $1,000, they want you to pay for $1,000. See what I'm saying here? If they want to give you $5,000 in benefits, the polar opposite would mean they want you to pay $5,000 in benefits. I don't think they're using proper language here. But they are using proper WNBA mentality. Less than a week after Satu Sabali called the league's initial proposal a slap in the face, WNBA president Nneka Ogwumike and Vice President Breanna Stewart are weighing in on the new CBA. Now, you got to understand, Stewart was involved in starting the Unrivaled League, which is there in case the WNBA folds. So somehow, some way, she is involved in negotiations. Now, that seems like a conflict of interest. That seems like something that shouldn't happen. But, of course, Stewart, because she can do this, said, no, it's not. Oh, okay, it's not? Great. Oh, it's not. Wait. If you say it's not, then it must not be. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. And I honestly don't care because I don't care about any of this. What I care about is that Caitlin Clark gets back on the court. We'll get into that in a minute. We'll get into that in a second. But let's go on. All right, let's go on. Breanna Stewart and her crew are mad. They're calling out the league. That was the hardest part. It's like we're not even talking about the same thing right now. We were talking about X and O's at this point and completely different sides of the game. Okay, that's cool. All right. Ogwumike noted the players aren't just seeking better pay, but also meaningful changes, charter travel, expanded roster, and better revenue share. Really? You're going to get revenue share when you're losing money? I've always said this, and I've never understood, except I have understood. Everybody wants revenue share, but what if the league's losing money? Do you get revenue payback? Like, you're making $80,000, let's say, and the league loses 26, 28, 30 million a year, maybe as much as 40. Now, however many players are in the WNBA, divide that by, I don't know, 40 million. Do you have to pay that money back? I mean, what are you only asking for proceeds? You're not invested? You're not truly invested? See, unless you're truly invested, none of this makes sense. Now, this isn't going to make sense to most of you because you are of the ilk that athletes should get. But see, ownership, particularly those of the NBA, have put their money and lost their money in the WNBA. Now, because of Caitlin Clark, they have the opportunity to make a little bit of money. Now, this isn't just this year. This is going way back 27 years of losing money. Now, these ladies want a greater profit off of revenue that these people, the ownership of the WNBA, put up their money for. Breanna Stewart hasn't put it up jack shit. Nothing. Zero zip. Caitlin Clark hasn't put up jack shit. Nothing. Zero zip. So why should they get any revenue share? Hey, look, we'll give you revenue share when there's revenue. Right now, there's not revenue. Right now, there is money spitting out of the ATM that is our mouth. So I don't understand. I am very happy for all the Twitter bots, the Twitter douchebags, to tell me when this gets released. Tell me how dumb I am. Tell me how wrong I am. But I'm not. You know I'm not. Better revenue share. They ain't no revenue. Well, we got a new TV deal. Good. Pay back the people that have been losing money all these years on your sorry asses. It's been made clear that this perception that the players don't understand the business. Commissioner told me that to my face. Well, okay. Why would you? Well, I have a degree. I went to Notre Dame. I don't give a shit what you went to. I don't give a damn where you went. This ain't your main job. Your main job is to put a ball in a basket. But I mean, I'm no idiot. I'm no economist. But I am smart enough with common sense to know, ladies, ain't no revenue. I don't know. We want to have a growing portion of the revenue share. We want this league to be exactly what it is today and more. Well, what it is today is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has masks. You've been in the league for 100 years. No one's giving a shit about you except family, friends, and maybe wherever the storm is. I guess probably Seattle. But there is no revenue. And how about paying back the people that supported your league, you greedy? I was going to use a word that ends with F, ends with K, and isn't fire truck, but I don't want to. The fact that it's been a little bit slow to start is tough, but hopefully things will ramp up now after getting their proposal back. We have a big meeting in Indy at All-Star, and it's going to be spicy. Great. Hey, ladies, let me explain something to you. This is what I would do if I was an owner. For 27 years, we funded your ass. For 27, you haven't made any money. We've kept this league going. You ever see League of Their Own? League of Their Own, eventually the league died. You want us to pull back funding? Great. See what you can do. But we ain't giving you a dime of revenue share until there's revenue. Well, you're cooking the books. Sure they are. That's the answer to everything. We want to see the books. I went to UConn. And I played basketball under Gino. So I'm an economist. UConn. Anyway, I wouldn't give them a freaking dime. Go strike. Here's the deal. You go strike, ESPN picks up baseball, and you're back to where you were. And by the way, ESPN is back negotiating with Major League Baseball. As you know, Major League Baseball's contract with ESPN ends after this year. No more ESPN baseball. They realize, hey man, this WNBA shit ain't so good. It's relying on one person. We're trying like hell. But the stars are unlikable. The women are too whiny. The people that announce the games are awful. And the people that are analysts in the studio, worse. But we got to keep them around. We just do. Because, you know. But anyway, long story short, it's all a bunch of shit. There is crying in the WNBA. It's going to get spicy. Really? Okay. Good for you, Breanna. Still, but hey, Breanna, you can put a ball in a basket. That's damn impressive. At 6'4", you can put a ball in a basket. We should listen to you on all matters. And you went to UConn. Does UConn even have a school? I mean, is there really a school at UConn, or is it just Dummies Retreat? It's in the middle of stores, and we're like, hey, look, this is Dummies Retreat. We all come here, and we just, But I went to UConn, like Gino Auriemma, talking about Caitlin Clark. What's wrong with these people? Great hair out of Gino. But the more Gino Auriemma talks, the dumber he sounds. Gino, just shut up. And coach against those inept coaches that you've coached against for years. And act like a hero. UConn, my ass, except for Danny Hurley. We love Danny Hurley. We respect Danny Hurley. Danny Hurley's players are PhDs in everything, particularly basketball, and Danny Hurley's a badass. But on the women's side, suck it. All right, Carolyn Peck, big old gal. Coach Purdue to a national championship. Really dumb. I mean, sentence structure. You know what I'm saying. So, here's what Carolyn Peck had to say about Caitlin Clark and the Fever because, well, the Fever won a couple games without Caitlin Clark.
You were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row. A 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. And both of those games without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons.
All right. Now, Carolyn Peck is really stupid. It's one of the funniest things ever at ESPN. I really don't want to get into a sex scandal. A prominent men's announcer was dating. It was just it was funny. It could not have been funnier. And nobody even knows that I know, but I knew everything there because everybody for whatever the reason, wants me to have counsel. It's the funniest shit ever. So I've never really had respect for Carolyn Peck, and I have less now. Now, here's what she has to say. Here's her response. I did not say Caitlin Clark is not valuable. True. Okay, you want to move the goalpost? Fine. She's a great player. For those who only see Caitlin, I was complimenting the rest of the team. Fever has several weapons. Yes, they lost last night. They have lost games with her. Respect to the whole Fever team. Yeah, okay, but that's not what you said. Yeah, great. Respect that. Why didn't you just say that if that's what you were saying? You said, and I quote here, more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play. That's what you said. So just stand by it. Look, Carolyn, we understand you're a sister, right? And as a sister at ESPN, you got to appease the other sisters. You know, the bully girls, the Elle Duncans of the world, the little Adrian Carters of the world. You got to appease the chimichangas. You got to be a sister. And a sister cannot like the little white girl. We know this. And you need clout because you've been broadcasting for years and nobody knows who you are. In fact, that douchebag Mike, I forget his name. He was our boss, or kind of our boss, at ESPN. David Seisler, put you on men's games. Actually, some high-profile men's games. And we had to sit here and listen to your dumb ass. So we understand. You're like, you're the perfect person at ESPN. A sister, that's a woman. Oh, wait, an African-American woman. You're perfect. But you got to get there. And you did yesterday. You did. Oh, man, you told them. I could see Elle Duncan on the phone right now. But stand by it, sister. Stand by it. Now look at this sentence structure. As a coach, if you have ever prepared a scouting report, ? Huh? As a coach, if you have ever prepared a scouting report, As a coach, if you don't really know how to read and write, you shouldn't be a coach, ? Parentheses, ? I don't know. Scout the Fever with or without Caitlin. What do you have to take away in both scenarios? They're different. One is not easier than... Well, you said they were. You said they were. You said, I'm quoting, I wrote it down, more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play. Well, you didn't say anything about taking away. You didn't say about being different. You didn't say about both being good. You said more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play. Just stand by it. I mean, look, ESPN is full of moronic statements that idiots like Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith stand by. They just stand by them. Don't be coming over here wishy-washy. You don't have to. You have a lifetime job as an African-American woman at ESPN. It's a lifetime job. Lifetime. Forever. As a coach, if you have ever prepared a scouting report, ? Jesus. Purdue, come on. I mean, I understand. I do. I get it. It's an all-time hot take, and good for her. But just stand by it. We know what you mean. I'm Carolyn Clark, Carolyn, whatever their name is, Peck. I've been at ESPN 100 years. Nobody other than dudes that worked at ESPN know the deal. Nobody knows me. Nobody's ever heard of me. I won a national championship. Oh, okay. Sure you did. I got to be relevant here. So we would have never talked about Carolyn Peck, ever, until she did what ESPN hirees do. Say something incredibly stupid. Good for you, Carolyn. God bless you. You go, girl. Dumbass. Hey, you enjoying the show? We ain't afraid, are we? That's right. We ain't afraid. Carolyn Peck, she probably didn't enjoy it. Of course you are. Make sure you head on over to youtube.com/@OutKick/videos to like, comment, and subscribe. That way you'll never, ever, ever miss any of our great content. Woo! We're on one today. Ladies, I'm treating you equal. I mean, just understand. You're a racist, Doc. No, I'm treating you equal. If you're going to be on TV, ladies, you want equal but special? What would you like? I mean, I hear about equal. Well, you're getting it equal. Woke ESPN's most sufferable mouthpiece and co-host of Vibe Check, Elle Duncan, got called out by friend of the show, Kirk Herbstreit, over a lack of professionalism, over her on-air antics. Yeah, I mean, she's trying so hard. You got to give Elle Duncan, because the little girl's trying so hard. If you're a personality like a Bill Simmons, Stephen A., Pat McAfee, part of their shtick is kind of that. But you watch SportsCenter, and Elle Duncan is sitting there cheering for Georgia. There you go. She's openly cheering. I'm not a fan of that personally. I think it hurts your credibility. When that team is playing other teams, fans are looking at you like, that's different. Yeah. And Elle Duncan does the cute little thing. These girls are so cute. Between Mina Kimes and Elle Duncan, I didn't have that on my bingo card. But my fandom doesn't impact in any way what or how we talk about teams on the air. Of course it does. First of all, you're horse shit on the air. We get it. We know why you're there. Ever, she says. I just bark? Whatever. I don't know what hell that means. I get it, but it's cute stuff, though. All these little girls go to a seminar because they're bad at what they do. And there's a guy, like his name is like Shotsky or something like that teaches all these little girls how to do stuff. But I think there's also a seminar on how to tweet back at people. They think they're so bold. Bark? Also whispers, I'm not the only one. Well, I don't know. So why I get singled out? Oh, she's trying to be something here. Why I get, see what she's doing there? I mean, how do we take people's education serious? Why I get singled out? I know what you're trying to do, sister. I see it. You get singled out because you're the biggest, loudest, dumbest voice on there. You're always on there acting like an idiot. That's why you get singled out. Man, I tell you what, though, it is amazing what ESPN has become. No, it really is. When you piss off Kirk Herbstreit, when you piss Kirk off to the point where, look, this isn't about Elle Duncan on TV saying anything about Georgia. This is much deeper than that. This is guys like Herbstreit, guys that have been at ESPN, both black and white, Dave Roberts included, are tired of the stupidity. They're tired of looking at it. I got it all right here in my phone from so many ESPN personalities, black, white, behind the camera, in front of the camera, producers, directors, announcers, play-by-play guys, SportsCenter guys. They're just tired of all the bullshit with these women. See, you don't understand. It's not on TV. It's in the green room. I've told you this for years. I mean, the stories of these idiots acting like idiots in the makeup room, around the campus, in the cafeteria, sitting there waiting. What happens is there's a set, and you're standing here actually outside. They hook you up with stuff, and you're standing kind of behind a wall ready to go out. And the stupidity of these women there has just gotten everybody within ESPN that has half a brain like pissed off, like, what are we doing here? And then the level of stupid that comes out of their mouth makes you not respect them professionally. And that's what this is from Kirk. This isn't like, hey, Elle Duncan roots for Georgia. This is like everybody that has a sense and wants to do the right thing at ESPN is so tired of these folks, both men and women, actually. They're so exhausted of them. They're so tired of their bullshit, their loud mouths, their disrespect. Their disrespectful manner. They've just had enough. They have. It's a fatigue that is like, just shut up and do your job. Just stop being jackasses everywhere you go around that campus and do your job. Now, if this story that I just said gets picked up nationally, you'll hear everybody bullshit. But it's all right here. I mean, I'm never going to read it because I don't read personal texts. All right? But, the truth of the matter is, it's all in here. Guys saying, can you imagine if I said that? You can't imagine what it's like in the green room. Yeah, and this is directed. This is people that what happens is guys will come down and say, hey, 10 minutes. Those people, and I got to know them, those people, that are there at ESPN now, boys and girls, white and black. They don't know them. They're so arrogant. They're so stupid right now, and it's just got people pissed off. That's what this is with Herbstreit. That's all it is. You're just tired of the mouse, the stupidity, the disrespect, the unprofessionalism all around it. That's what it is. Yeah. Let's talk about what really lit up 4th of July this year, and I'm not talking about fireworks. I'm talking about the annual celebration of stomach strength, jaw power, and pure patriotic gluttony. That's right. We're talking about Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest on Coney Island. And if we're talking about it, guess who we're talking about? Joey Chestnut. He's back at it. Joey Chestnut is back at it and doing what he did best. The human highlight reel of competitive eating, the man who treats hot dogs like Tic Tacs. Joey Chestnut, Indianapolis' zone now. Joey Jaws managed to win his 17th mustard belt. 70 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes. You know what's interesting about this? Davey, did you see this? The over-under was 71. Did you see that? The over-under was 71 dogs. How about that? 70 and a half, Davey. I smell conspiracy. I smell fix. I think we've got a full-blown investigation coming on this, Davey.
I wasn't watching live, Dan, but I did see the amount of people. I believe the over was the favorite, and coming in just under it, probably a lot of unhappy people around noon on the 4th of July. Telling you.
Now, you can't bet under because, it's hard to tell how many hot dogs a guy eats. You know what I mean? It is, isn't it? It's hard to tell. Like, you got to be, I think, a shout-out to the pro hot dog eating counters. You got to be right there because they're going fast. You know what I mean? And you got to take the full dog, Davey.
I believe he consumed 22,000 calories, Dan.
God bless him. God bless him. All right. Well, guess what, though? Guess what? PETA's mad. They're out in full force. PETA's mad, and the PETA's mad. No, you're doing the right thing. Let's just understand that. Hey, Dan, PETA's on the line. They're mad. Good. Tell them thank you, but we know we're doing the right thing by you being mad. Harassing spectators. Why do we got to harass? Peaceful protest, people. Don't be going to Coney Island and harassing Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. No. Prior to the event, PETA said to Fox News Digital, Tommy Tofu and his PETA gals will be right there at Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest, distributing hundreds of tasty vegan hot dogs as they challenge hungry spectators to enjoy a free, flavorful 4th that is also animal friendly. Yeah, tough. I tried one last year. We did a contest on Charlie's show. They're terrible. No, they're not terrible. They're god-awful terrible. So don't bullshit us. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet, baby. That's right. I'll throw Ford in there, too. I don't want to hear about a tofu dog. Nope. I don't want to hear about a veggie dog. See, you got to know, Joey Chestnut is a bit of a sellout. He is still doing ads for tofu and all that bullshit. But guess what? We don't care. We don't care. You're the man, Joey Chestnut. You should be in every Hall of Fame. Put Joey Chestnut in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't care. Vegan hot dogs are delicious and kind. And who really wants to support slaughterhouses? I support hot dogs. The word is enough. By buying what comes out of them. Yeah, Terry Ryman said in a statement, PETA encourages everyone to let freedom ring for all by leaving animals in peace in the 4th of July and beyond. Yeah, good for you. You go, girl. Boy, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But I ain't eating one of them vegan things I did last year, and I almost vomited in my face. Hey, if Chilich wins this tennis match, I'm going to be sad because I was going to bet him and I didn't. All right, does politics have a place in sports? You turn on a game to escape the real world. But these days, whether it's players taking a knee, teams speaking out on elections, or prominent broadcasters using their platform to talk democracy, the line between the field and the front page seems to be blurrier than ever. It is. So here's a question. Can we really separate the games from the world they're played in? Or should athletes and broadcasters stick to X's and O's and leave the politics at the door? Friend of the show, Bob Costas, has some thoughts.
Politics is a part of sports. Yes.
Sports is a part of politics. Does it concern you that we are seeing in some instances politics infused in sports?
I think that politics inevitably has intersected with sports. Anyone who says that politics has no place in sports has to be abysmally unaware of the history here, because until fairly recently in our nation's history, sports and some aspects of entertainment have been the only avenues that were broadly, and even then there was a fight. Jackie Robinson didn't come until 1947, that were broadly accessible to people of color, or where someone like Billie Jean King could make a larger statement about women's rights, not just within sports. And to turn your back on that is to wear a blindfold. So when people say stick to sports, I think what they actually mean most often is stick to sports unless you're saying something that I want to hear and I agree with. But if you're saying something I disagree with that comes from a different perspective, well, then you should just shut up and say there's a ground ball to shortstop. I never bent to that.
He's right. He's 100% right. I'm not one of those that says, hey, I don't want to hear about politics. I didn't want to hear bullshit. And he's right. I mean, I didn't care, really. I mean, people and racism all say their name on the back. I really didn't give a shit. You know, it didn't matter to me whatsoever, and everybody's different. But I get it. He's absolutely right. Like, what I do with my phone is this. I'll look at Twitter, and somebody will rip me. Somebody will rip me and go, oh, Dakich sucks, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. And then inevitably, I'll click on their Twitter. Inevitably, it's either a Michigan State fan, some little douchebag, whiny, Indiana kid, West Virginia, or a Democrat, a liberal. It's always the same thing. Always. And when I say always, I mean always. Like, it's one of those deals where you go, yeah, let me look. Oh, yeah, that person doesn't like me. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, oh, so what? Then I look, and there's always a buy. Costas isn't wrong. We may not like what Costas had to say, but he's not wrong. I mean, the one thing about Bob, though, I could have done without his pontificating when we started games. Like when he was on NBC, I think it was, he would pontificate about some political thing. And I could do without that. But, hey, you know what? I don't care. I liked Howard Cosell. He's my favorite all-time announcer. He didn't have a problem injecting politics into sports, so neither do I. I don't know. He even refused to read gambling promos when calling games. Given your father, your background, your childhood, you'd be witnessing this up close and personal. Is this personal for you? Are you concerned on a personal level about sports betting might mean for some families? That was from Kristen Welker. Yeah, I am. And on both MLB Network and when I did a handful of games on Turner, I refused to read the gambling ads. They have to have someone else read them or use the voice of God type person to read them. I just couldn't in good conscience encourage people to do something which I know for some of them it's obviously just a little recreation. It's fine. But there's an insidious aspect to it that I didn't want to be part of. Good for you, man. Hey, I always say this. There's 350 million people in this country. Everybody's got a difference of opinion. He don't want to read gambling ads. That's why maybe he only did a handful of ads on Turner. Maybe why he only did a handful of ads on MLB. I don't know. But I'm cool with all of it. I am. I don't care who reads an ad. I think it's hypocritical for example, the NFL to suspend Isaiah Rodgers and another kid from the Colts for a year for doing something in their, quote, building that they could have been doing right across the street at the McDonald's, gambling on the Duke, North Carolina game on their app on DraftKings, where there's DraftKings ads all over the stadium. I think that's hypocritical as hell, and I think it's bullshit. But they're going to tell you the integrity of the game. All right, if you bet on your sport, kick their ass out of the sport. It's that simple. I don't know.